Hi, class. So I am taping my lecture so I can be silent today with many of you, but still teach. So I'm taping this on Thursday, and I'm going to walk you through some ways to organize your MLK rhetorical analysis. Let's look at my notes on the board. Now, you don't need to feel like you're doing 5 paragraphs, but because MLK's essay is 4 paragraphs total, I thought it would be helpful for you to think about it as 4 boxes of, these are all individual body paragraphs, and then we have our intro. I'm not really sure what the conclusion would be yet. I guess we would have to add that. Conclusions tend to be really short for this assignment. Now, the introduction. Soapstone's method. Go through the speaker, occasion, audience, subject. What was the tone conveyed? You might save that purpose for your thesis statement. Our thesis statement, we keep relying on that formula. Martin Luther King, active verb, argues that, what's the purpose? There are a couple sentence structures I've reminded us that we can squeeze into our intro and plan to use them. Can you put the appositive phrase with any nouns? Is there a place to use a semicolon with a however? If we look at the main body paragraphs of MLK's argument, the first paragraph is about poverty. Your goal is to summarize the main ideas and then state and identify the rhetorical appeals and persuasive techniques MLK utilizes to prove that the war shouldn't be happening. America should not go to Vietnam for a war. We all agreed the demonic suction tube, the figurative language, was powerful. Now, naming it only scores a 2. Martin Luther King uses figurative language in the quote, blah, blah, blah. You need to get to how does it prove his argument? How does it persuade? That's called the warrant. It's hard to do. Notice there's a lot of cause and effect relationships here, right? If we have a poverty program, why is it not going to be funded? Well, this is a very logical idea. You might use logos within this paragraph too. Appeals to logos, appeals to logical ideas. Second paragraph and third paragraph kind of work together. Some people might group them as one paragraph, or you might split them up. He talks about the logic of, well, who's going to go fight the war? The very people who would have benefited from the poverty program. Well, that money's gone, and now we're sending them to the war. This is a cruel irony. This should make us feel a certain way. You have a chance to not only say logic, but maybe even pathos. But it is a logical idea as well, right? Third paragraph, he talks about nonviolence. He states why he's often having to defend nonviolence within the civil rights movement. But then who's the greatest proprietor of violence with this moment? He's even naming the government candidly. Finally, he's telling us he can't be silent, which really brings us to the home run of his credibility. Why does he have a right to talk about Vietnam? He's not just a preacher. He's not just a civil rights leader. He is a person dedicated to the soul of America. I call that fourth paragraph the saving the soul. If the autopsy reads Vietnam, then I cannot be silent. Notice the repetition of all this structure we talked about in our charts. For the sake of those boys, for the sake of this government, for the sake of the 100,000s trembling under our violence, I cannot be silent. The anaphora builds his credibility. I'm kind of doing a little bit of the work of what my essay would say. Conclusions are hard, but don't overthink it. It's okay to summarize your main idea. If I've used a semicolon in the intro, I might plan to use a colon here. I might relist MLK uses these techniques, colon, and then list them out and one more time. I might save a favorite quote and just kind of emphasize it. But say your thesis statement in a new way, summarize, and try maybe one sentence structure. In the end, if you go paragraph by paragraph, you might end up having a 6-paragraph essay. You can use your charts. Now, really strong essays will talk about certain word choice and what tone is built from that. The tone words are in your charts. 3rd and 4th year students, you should be more able and accessible to do this type of work. 1st and 2nd year students, you shouldn't feel as much stress because you need more experience analyzing tone. And note that a lot of times If I can just talk about the first paragraph, those words, eviscerated, there's other ones, they develop the tone that builds his logic. You should be quoting certain words at times and getting to that. What tone did we discuss? A poignant, candid, angry tone. The board's going to be here for you. Feel free to use any notes in your charts and any notes on the board. You're going to do great. You're going to score well. Good luck.